Watch Who?
Hello.
And welcome to Watch Who, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Mark.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm a Doctor Who fan.
And I'm new to watching Who.
Yeah, watching for the very first time.
Very first time.
Sarah, you have been chosen for a vitally important task.
Oh. Look at me.
All of Doctor Who has been scattered and hidden throughout the cosmos. And when they are assembled, they create a power and a podcast which is too dangerous for any being to possess. There we go. There's an epic beginning for season 16.
We're both coughing as well. We're both a bit ill.
I know, it's that sort of winter time, cold. It's all of that, isn't it?
Yeah. Apologies, then I just coughed.
Yeah, we're on the Lemsip, so I've had a few Lemsips, so. But we're back, another season.
I do have a little surprise for you.
Oh, okay.
I've got here the Doctor Who quiz book.
Ooh.
An official. Because it came up on my Amazon, it was during the Prime things, and it was for £6. So I got it, and I'm going to quiz you, because you always quiz me.
I was going to say, the tables have turned. This is a surprise.
Mark was not expecting this.
Okay.
I'm just going to. So it goes through it's not just current. It's because on the cover, they're not official, but that's definitely the Doctor that we've got now, and that's Jodie's Doctor, and I think that one's supposed to be David Tennant's Doctor. Hang on, let me.
Oh my god, I can't believe you got a Doctor Who book.
How do you feel? Are you excited?
In shock. I am actually in shock.
I know. I thought I'd surprise you with it. Some of this is quite obvious, but we'll ask you anyway. So there's different chapters that are different bits of information. So we'll start the first 3 questions are quite easy, but this is about the Doctor's many faces, and there's a whole there's always description explaining things, and then there's quiz questions. Okay, so you'll get all these. I'll be surprised if you don't get these 3. But then I'll go into the book and find another one. Okay, so this is number 1. Doctor Who began in November 1963. Which actor played the first incarnation of the Doctor, debuting? Oh my gosh, debuting.
Debuting? No, I don't know. Oh my god!
In the first episode, An Unearthly Child.
Well, that's William Hartnell.
That is correct.
Our favourite, one of our favourites.
One of our favourites. Okay, number 2. Patrick Troughton took over as the second Doctor in 1966. Which instrument did this Doctor play regularly to help him think?
The recorder?
That's correct. And then number 3, John Pertwee took over the role and became the third Doctor in 1970. The character had been exiled to one planet as a result of violating the Time Lord's non-interference policy. Which planet was the Doctor sent to?
Earth.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's nice and easy.
I'm
looking at this and I'm I don't actually know where the answers are, so I should probably have checked that before. Oh no, right at the back, answers. Cool.
Well, you should do a round at the Quiz of Rassilon then, shouldn't you?
I know. There's a thing here about which companion are you, but we won't do that. Oh wow!
Oh my god, we've got to do that at some point.
Do we do that?
Oh, let's do that. Go on. It'll be funny. If we both answer it, we'll see who we turn out.
Okay, I'm just going through it because it's okay. So there's 4 options, and then you have to choose which one you think. So, question 1. A mysterious time traveller enters your life and asks you to board their TARDIS and adventure with them. What is your response? A. You weren't asked. You stowed away on the TARDIS while investigating strange happenings and stayed for further travels. B. You were looking for a way out. You say yes without a second thought. C. You say no at first because your family need you, but you change your mind when you realise it also travels in time. Or D, you've seen enough of the Doctor to know that you'll say yes to the invitation and never leave.
I'm going to say A.
A.
What would you say?
I think...
I'll keep a record.
I think I'd be C.
Okay.
I'd say no at first, and then when I realise it goes through time, I'd be like, yeah, go on. Okay, number 2. You have the entirety of time and space at your feet. Where would you choose to go for your first adventure in the TARDIS? A, the Middle Ages. B, London 1963. C, the distant future to see the end of the Earth. Or D, an alien planet?
Oh, I probably want to do all of them. I'd probably start off, though. I'd like to see an alien planet. I'll just go straight into it.
I'd be D.
D, okay, yeah. Because actually, Middle Ages will be like all a bit diseasey and stuff straight and be a bit horrible. I'd rather go like to the future.
I hear you. Okay. 3. How would others describe you? A, confident, clever, and brave. You're never one to put up with anybody else's rubbish, and you're a brilliant leader. Sometimes you come across as a bit cold, but only because you're so fiercely protective and loving. B, under that tough exterior, you're kind, loyal, and deeply courageous. You like to take charge and sometimes act without thinking, but you're a fast learner and you will always remain loyal to those you care about. C, kind, caring, and inquisitive. You're protective of those around you and can make friends in any situation. You're deeply empathetic, sometimes to your own disadvantage, but can also take a stand when needed. Or D, you're wildly ambitious and want to rise to the top. Although you have many insecurities, you're a brilliant friend and are talented at solving any problem. Always asking questions, you're curious and have a brave exterior. You just need to remember your own brilliance.
Bloody hell, they're all a bit long, aren't they?
I know.
I don't know, C?
I'm going to go with B. So 4, you're stuck in an alien base with no signal, no doctor, and no way out. Do you A, investigate your surroundings and try to find a logical solution? B, blow the base up with your homemade explosive? Or C, use your under 7 gymnastics bronze medal skills and try to kick the door down? Or D, wonder what the doctor would do and then do exactly that?
I do have an under-7s gymnastics certificate, so maybe I should go with that. I did gymnastics. I've got the Kitty Cat Award. I've got the badges. I'm going to say C. Was that the gymnastics one?
Yeah.
Totally, will bring those skills back.
I'll go with C as well, I think. I think I'd try and kick a door down.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'd both be like...
How many have we answered? Is that 4?
We've done 4.
Okay, so we'll do one more because that should then give us a majority.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So the doctor leaves you on a distant planet by accident and you have no idea if they'll be back. Do you A, make a life for yourself and become a defender of your new home? B, get a job in hospitality and try to figure out a way off the planet? C, create a teleport to jump across the universe to wherever the doctor is? Or D, accumulate local knowledge and make your own way back to the doctor?
Oh, I don't think I'd go into hospitality. I'd probably say D, just try and work out a way to get out. I don't think I'd do any of the others. What would you do?
I think B. I think I would end up working in hospitality.
Oh my god, you would. You'd
really
get a job in a pub or something.
I really would.
You would. Well, it's one way.
Do you have a majority?
Hold on.
Do you have more A's, B's, C's, or D's? Or do I?
We both
well?
do. We both do.
Okay, so what's your majority?
Okay, we're both the same. We both more C.
We're more C. So mostly C's is Rose Tyler.
Ah.
Most like Rose Tyler.
Oh, actually, I'm joint C and D actually, but you're C.
I'm C's. Okay, so I'm Rose Tyler.
Oh no! Hold on. Sorry, I just totally read.
What? You had like one job. You just have to look at 5 letters and say which one was more.
Okay, we don't. We're both. You're joint C and B, and I'm joint C and D.
All right. Okay. Should we do one more to determine then?
Well, I think we're gonna have to, aren't we? But we'll just forget.
Forget what you only know about C.
Oh no! Okay, forget Rose Tyler. What's D? Look, say you're B and I'm D, and let's find out then. Just do that.
Okay. So B is Ace.
Okay.
You're most like Ace. Streetwise, explosive, and fiercely loyal pal. Your determination, courage are your strengths, and your bold exterior shines through wherever you go.
That's you.
Yeah. And D is Yasmin. Clever, determined, and courageous. You're most like Yasmin. People find you grounding and naturally gravitate towards you. Your willingness to keep trying means your ambition is achievable, and you just have to believe in yourself.
At least you didn't turn out to be Polly or anyone like that, I imagine.
No, well, A was Sarah Jane Smith. Mostly A's would have been Sarah Jane Smith.
Well, okay, that's going in a little bit to today's story then, the Ribos operation, or the Ribos operation.
Yeah.
Don't at me, everybody.
Sure it does.
Well, let's just go straight in and let's start out with...
For future, we will do more. And if anyone's interested in this book, I should say, like, because I feel like I'm just reading 3 things from a book, but it's by Beth Axford. It's called The Doctor Who Quiz Book, an official.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored at
Sarah
all.
just found it. It's not sponsored.
I literally just found it. It's like 250 pages long. It's a good sized book. So if you're looking for a late Christmas present for a friend, there you go.
Brilliant. There we go. Yep.
Well, that's not what I bought it for.
Well, we do have a new companion this season.
We do.
Okay, and last time you said maybe more dungarees, maybe a girl and a guy, but we have Romana. So let's just go straight in before we go into anything else. What is your first impressions of Romana?
I do like Romana, actually. I like that she's so different to Leela.
Well, she's different again because like we had Sarah Jane and then Leela's so different to Sarah Jane and now we've got a complete difference again.
Yeah. It's someone that's like knowledgeable of, but not at the same level as the Doctor, you know, but has knowledge of how the universe works and stuff like that. So that's quite interesting. I like that she stands her own ground in sort of a very Sarah way, very Sarah Jane way.
Well, it's very interesting. She's a time lady. To me, she feels like a little bit more mature. I don't know if it's because she's playing it as a time lady who doesn't really know the world, do you know what? I didn't realise, and this is why I was talking about Rodan so much in The Invasion of Time. I never made that connection that Rodan was a bit of a prototype Romana in a way.
Yeah, you're right.
I've
Yeah.
never thought of that. You could have just had Rodan turn up from the Time Lords to help out the Doctor. She's very like that. But she hasn't been out of that world.
A little bit more to her than what Rodan did. I know you're a big Rodan fan, but I feel like there's a little bit more backbone to her.
And this is the first the second non-human companion, because we had Susan, if you consider her as a Time Lord lady, but this is completely different to Susan. We've not gone there. But
do we consider K9 as well in that?
Yeah, of course. We've still got K9 Mark II, second one. But yeah, were you expecting somewhat, like, when you first saw her, what were you think like?
I was not expecting that. I think I'm really excited for this season. I think it's really interesting idea to have what this story is going to be as the whole season. Do you know what I mean? I'm guessing that we've got 6 stories because they're going after 6 things. I don't know how long each one is, but that's a guess. And I think that's quite interesting. I think it reminds me a little bit of Third Doctor, his season with the Master, when we had that as like an ongoing, and that sort of gave the season a bit of a grounding. Even though each one's different, it felt like a sort of the mission was quite clear, and yeah, I really liked that. It's a really great idea. It's just a really simple idea that I think, and it gives you motivation to follow. I mean, if you joined in at any point, I don't think it would matter, but I think seeing where it goes gives you motivation to follow, in the same way that like Third Doctor one, every time the Master would get away and we knew we'd see him next week, sort of thing. I'm really excited, actually, off the back of this, how it will end and how the season will go, sorry.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't really tried anything like this before, really, like an over our sort of arc thing in terms of...
The closest I can think of is that one with the Master. And also kind of like an extended version of Keys of Marinus.
Oh my God, I was just about to say... Keys of Marinus, but actually just this story on its own had a bit of a Keys of Marinus vibe when we get to the planet and everything. It just felt like it was, you know, when they go from place to place in Keys of Marinus, it felt like this is somewhere. I think it's because we had Altos in the snow and we had sort of someone in furs and we had Ian being knocked over the head with the crown jewel thing.
Yeah.
And there was just it just felt like this was a bit of where they would land in Keys of Marinus. They would land on Ribos and just have one episode there, but it's like extended into 4. And Catacombs and stuff, it just felt like all a bit Keys of Marinus-y. And I think that's why I really like this one this time round. It's an okay one. It's sort of middling for everyone. It's not like a classic or anything.
I get that, because I said to you just before we started, I've just finished watching this today, and I'm not 100. I mean, also I'm not feeling 100%. We're both not feeling well, but I'm struggling to like remember it. I'm sure when we start talking about it, it'll come back. But there's no like real yes, that's the storyline moments for me. But I did enjoy it.
Yeah, it's okay, and you've got the key to time element, but it doesn't take over the whole story. It's sort of like a nice background ongoing thing, so we'll see how that develops. I'll go back to the beginning and we'll go through and hopefully remind you of what's happened. I've not seen this one for such a long time. It's not one that I would always necessarily go to. And okay, you've guessed it. I've not really told you, but see, there's 6 stories in this season and each one is a bit of the key to time. But when I got these on video, I watched them out of order. So I think I got like the 4th one first. They were all on offer in Southend in like our price or something for like $4.99. I used to go up, and it was just whichever one was there. So I didn't see this one first, but I sort of knew about the key to time. So it's a bit odd. It does help if you watch them in order. And actually, I'll show you. Can I show you? I've still got the videos because I'll show you a bit of it because they all. This is only 3 of them, but they sort of made a picture on the spines.
Oh, yeah.
And if you've got all 6. If you have all 6 together, I can't hold them all up at once. They make a cool like picture of gathering the key to time, so that was cool.
That's cute. It's a really nice idea, I think, and it's really concise, and it has a real Keys of Marinus feel about it because of that.
And we like that quest stuff, don't we? It's a very Terry Nation thing. Keys of Marinus was a bit of a quest. What else was a quest? Like, in a way, the chase is for me is a bit of a quest. The journey where it goes from bit to bit.
It's too long.
Well, this is like a longer, extended arc, isn't it? So instead of each episode, we've got each story as a different place, but it's still quite fun to do. Imagine if the chase was like 6 stories long. You know?
Well, I think I'd probably like the chase more because it does, but it doesn't. At least with this, you know that like this portion, it reaches its. We've got it, okay, and then there's the next one, which is similar to the keys. Like they're aiming to get each of the parts that they need, and then it goes to the next story. And the issue with the chase is, even though actually it felt like 3 stories in a way, didn't it? Because you had the first half, and then they're like fighting against it, and then you know it's like 12, isn't it?
That's the Daleks' master plan, but it's very similar to the chase.
Oh, sorry, but
Ian and Barbara left in the chase.
Oh, it's not the Christmas.
It's all the same. It's all Terry Nation. Christmas, and that's Daleks' master plan, but it's exactly the same format. Yeah, same thing.
I've got that one in my head, but like the trouble is because it's all one story, the goal is just that one thing for the whole way. So this is quite nice because even though it's 4, the goal is just the one point. There's an overarch of like collecting them all. Gotta catch them all. But then, yeah.
Well, okay, I'll go back to the beginning. So you've got Doctor and K9 on their own. They meet the White Guardian.
The key to time is a perfect cube which maintains the equilibrium of time itself. It consists of 6 segments, and these segments are scattered and hidden throughout the cosmos.
Who's just a guy in a chair. Did you notice, I don't know if anyone else did, he's drinking a cocktail, a greeny blue cocktail.
He's having a Terry Nation.
He's having a Terry
Nation.
Nation. The White Guardian drinks Terry Nations, everyone. If that's not endorsement, I don't know what. I was like, oh my God, watch him, everyone. He's drinking his Terry Nation, going to the doctor. You've been chosen. So we've got 6 segments, and you see it's like a cube, and it's been scattered throughout the cosmos. I'm not sure why, if he's so powerful, he can't just get him himself, but never mind about that. And he's given a tracer thing that sort of detects. And Romana is there in the TARDIS. And can we just say clothes watch with Romana? Is she the most glamorous?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's because she's supposed to be a Time Lord, isn't she? Or a Time Lady. Yeah.
No dungarees.
No dungarees.
You're not getting your dungarees.
I did like what she wore though. Like I liked her white outfit with the hood.
I mean, talk about standing out. Like whatever scene she's in, and it fits quite well when they land, and it's very wintry and Christmassy.
Well, the doctor
and
gives it on, doesn't he? He's like, right, wear this. Hope it fits.
I mean, and she must have been freezing. It doesn't look warm, actually. It looks really nice, and how she kept that clean throughout that whole time going to the catacombs, I have no idea. Do not wear bright white when you go adventuring for the key to time.
I really want to jump ahead before I forget this, right?
Okay.
I think it's the third story. The third episode, third episode, where we meet
Binro. Oh, Binro.
Binro. And I was like, oh, so when that guy is like, no, Binro, what you're saying is true. And he's like, and then they're going through, there was like something he said, and it reminded me of the producers. You know?
I've not seen that. Okay. I don't know that.
So there's two versions of it. Like there's the film version and then there's a musical version. And the musical one, there's a court case, and he starts singing this song, never till I met till him, never knew I've ever till him. Anyway, in my head, I imagine those two singing it together, like at that moment, because it was like, I didn't know this till him, and all the grannies in the back are singing, and I don't know, I imagined the dead bodies like But yeah, if they were going to make like that into a musical scene, that is a song they would pick.
Even here, in the future, men will turn to each other and say, Binro was right.
No one ever made me feel like someone till him.
Okay, we'll make a note of that. Ribos Operation, the musical with Binro. Oh, Binro's great. We'll get to
Binro, but you just said something and it popped back in my head, and I was like, I will forget that if I don't say it now.
At that beginning, you've got the Doctor and Romana sort of working out their relationship. It's a great, almost like a sort of rom-com thrown together in those TARDIS scenes at the beginning. Complete opposites. So, but it worked. Like, you know, when we were saying like with Leela the other season, where that humour just wasn't there. That there wasn't. It just didn't work. It was all felt really awkward. This was perfect. This was really entertaining. I love the way how he reacted to her, because he doesn't really want her there, but then they're going to get on. It's like the Odd Couple type
it's very odd
scenario.
Couple. Yeah.
And just those she's great because she is knowledgeable, but she doesn't have any of his nonsense. And then I like the bit where he's like, I'll call you Romana or Fred. And she's like, okay, call me Fred. Yeah. You know, all of those moments, she just comes in and it's such a strong start for a companion, because she's fully formed. She's all there straight away. And she does a fair amount. Okay, then we meet our characters of the week, and we're on this lovely wintry... The sets are great. It's all no location. It's all studio, but it works really well because it's this sort of medieval planet. It's space, but medieval. That's a good way to do it if you don't have budget. Don't go space hospital, go medieval, where the BBC can...
Don't knock that hospital, sets. I enjoyed it.
And we meet... it's... Unstoff and Garon are our like dodgy dealers. So Garon is the chatty one, and Unstoff is like...
Is he the Somerset one?
The Somerset one, yeah. So you see them, and you think they're sort of trying to steal the crown jewels, basically, or do something. Actually, they're putting the stone in rather than stealing. And all the costumes and everything, you've got this sort of Russian vibe to it, haven't you? With all the costumes.
Yeah.
Russian style thing, which does remind me when I saw the jewels and everything, the Russian stuff. I love reading and finding out about Fabergé eggs.
Oh.
I don't know if anybody is interested in that. Because I didn't know, right? My favourite documentary series, I think it's on Amazon. I've got it. Raiders of the Lost Art. I think I've talked about it before, about missing art pieces. There's one on Van Gogh. There's one about the Fabergé eggs, because I think he made like 100 or something for the Russian Tsar. The ones that all got, the Romanovs that all got like shot and stuff in the revolution and everything. And yeah, he made them for like one a year as like a present, and they all got different things inside, like a treat, like a little mechanical thing and all that. Anyway, it sort of goes into my missing episodes head, because there's only I can't remember now. There's not many that actually still exist, and there's missing ones, and there's some where they've only got a photo, and they were shown in like London after that. A lot came over to England, and there's a picture in like the 40s or 50s or something of this exhibition, and you can see these eggs in the cabinets, but nobody knows what happened to them since, and that's like the only photo of them. Wow. No one knows where they are. There's quite a few, and there's some where no images exist at all, and you've only got his original drawings. And like one turned up in like 2004 in like some American guy's like garage, and he bought it at a boot sale, and it's worth like millions.
Oh my
and it's
God.
come over to like Sotheby's and stuff. It's sort of in that missing episodes thing. I bet there's people out there like Doctor Who missing episodes, but Fabergé eggs.
Yeah.
Like I just find it really fascinating.
That's really interesting, because I thought when you've mentioned this before, I think I'm thinking of another documentary that's on Netflix about missing art.
Oh, there's quite a few. There's one where loads of art went missing in like the 90s from a...
Yes, I've watched that.
That's a really good document. That's really good. I love all that kind of... Because they've not been found since, like the Rembrandts and stuff. There's so many missing pieces and stuff being like stolen, or stuff that turns up. And it sort of fits in that interest of mine. Anyway, they're not stealing any Fabergé eggs here. They're putting in this stone, which turns out to be the bit of the key to time. So that's our plot point there. Yeah, the Doctor and Romana just sort of come in and they're around in the background, but you're getting into the story. I really like. I'm gonna get atted for not calling him the right thing. Unstoff, and Garon. I really like those two. I found them easy to get me into the story.
I agree, and I liked how different they were, to the point I actually thought, I've forgotten which one's the nice one. Garon.
Unstuff.
Is he the nice one?
He's the nice one, yeah.
Unstuff, I was hoping he'd like join them.
Yeah, he's very kind, isn't he?
Very
Unstuff,
sweet.
he's great.
And I really liked him.
And Garon is a bit like Jago, in a way, from Talons of Wing Chang, the theatre guy. Very like that, isn't he? He's like that. And we find out that the Shrivenzal is guarding. Now, okay, I'm harsh. You know that monster thing that was guarding them?
Yeah.
Because we sort of build up to the Doctor and Romana quickly find it, but then they can't get it, and they're trying to get in, and it gets asleep. Romana, it's not a great cliffhanger for Romana. For Romana's first monster, when she goes in, it's asleep. She walks straight past it and does not see it. She's like right next to it. That's a very 60s moment. That's a 60s, it's in front of me, but I'm pretending not to see it moment. And then she has that screamy moment. But I suppose you can forgive that because she's not been... And she's like, are there creatures out there? Like, I like that it follows up. It's not just screaming girl. There's a reason, because she's not a bit like Rodan. She's having a simple life moment. She's not been out of the world. So she doesn't know these things necessarily are going to be dangerous and exist. So I like that she says, there are creatures out there like that. And the Doctor's like, yeah, you're going to meet a lot of them. So I like how it sort of follows that up. And okay, I forgive her for pretending.
I can forgive that one too, because I think it's probably one of those things they're trained like, these things exist and here they are in a book. And it's like when you see it in real life and you actually are threatened by it. And I think as well, because her character starts so strong and defiant and almost like in charge. Like the start, she's like, well, I've got this thing that will lead them to us. Very self-assured, So it was nice to have that sort of vulnerable moment to remind you that for all her knowledge and everything, she's still new. You have to have him above her in terms of, so it's really, it was good for like reminding you of where their dynamic positions are.
Yeah. And she's not screaming or anything. She's just like, oh, okay, we're in this situation now. Okay. And she takes it and gets on with it, especially later on in the story. She has a good part of the story. She's not just to the side. I felt like everyone was quite equal because it's quite a small cast. And then we have the Graf Vindicay comes in. He's our Russian prince guy. He's very... No, but he's not. Is he over the top? You just made a face.
Yeah, I mean... He serves the point of the story, doesn't he? I liked him, I thought he was really good. I thought he played it really well. He did serve a point of the story. I'm going to struggle to remember him.
Well, it's all about...
But that's because he's not a key element of it, in the same way that like the other two, even though they're separate, they're really part of the dialogue and the story. He's just a character there that helps be part of it and move it along. And he's really good. Like, I feel like I'm going to get hate because he's acting wise. It's really good. It's not weak at all. It's not panto-y. I just know that, like, when I think back to this story, he's not what I'm going to think of.
Because I feel like he's a big part. He's a big dramatic part of it because he gets 2 cliffhangers. That end of actually just going ahead, end of episode 2, he literally looks at the camera and he's like, "The graft vindicate," or like kill them or something. And then episode 3, I think, he's like, "And they will never know that they crossed the graft vindicate." He gets 2 cliffhangers of him being very panto. Look at
When
the
I
camera.
think of this story, I'm going to remember Somerset guy,
Binro.
nice guy, and bin bag guy.
I don't know if you remember the guard. He had the big black hat and the staff. He was guarding the.
So, right. Have you seen, I want to say it's called Count Binface? He's like the guy that goes up against Boris Johnson at elections and stuff.
I think I've heard of him.
That is what that costume reminded me of.
What, the big fluffy hat? The guard?
Oh, no. I'm thinking of the metal ones. The metal.
Oh, the guard. They're the Graf Vindicate guards with the metal helmet and the red things. Are they? Oh, Count Binface. Right. Okay. Yeah. Count Binfaces.
That's what that reminds me. Sorry.
That's the Graf Vindicate.
That guard reminded me of that.
Okay. No, sorry. The other guards. They're like the Russian-y guards.
Yeah.
So the guy that plays him, a bit of a different performance. He's been in Doctor Who twice before. We've seen him. He usually plays the Dick.
Yeah.
He was the Dick Tharl and the Dick spaceship captain in Planet of Evil.
Right. Okay.
No, you don't.
I don't remember. And I'm probably not going to remember him this time either.
Jekyll and Hyde story?
Yeah, I know. I remember the story. I just don't remember him like enough to be like, yes.
Okay. Anyway, he's less of a dick in this. I thought he was a bit more. He doesn't have much of a part in this as much, but he's okay. He's still a bit of a grumpy guard. But he's not as bad.
Yeah, that's what his MO in it.
Yeah. And then we get a lot of back and forth in episode 2 and 3. There's a lot of Garon's trying to like con the Graf Vindicate, so he's trying to make him think that there's precious metal, and you go back and forth, and then Somerset guy pretends to be the guard. I like how that story went, and it's very like the construction of the story is really interesting because it's always something. And then Dr. Romana is thrown in there as well, and they get caught up in it as well.
I liked that, and they didn't feel like too much padding in this story. Everything felt like it needed to happen. This story was really well constructed.
Because actually, you've only got like 3 sets, really. You've got like the duel room, the catacombs, and then up the snowy bit. And they just go between those 3, really. And it's all conversations.
Well, and that one room that they have as a cell.
But I feel like there's a whole world. Like, it doesn't fit. Like, I feel like you get an idea of, and especially when you meet Binro, and you have that whole story. That it's not padding. Okay, it doesn't add to the story necessarily as much, apart from Somerset guy having a chat.
It gives you more, I guess, background to the world that they're in, and especially it lines into them when we see this woman doing weird stuff later.
Oh my god, I can't wait to get to her. Yeah, because you hear that the people of this planet are more medieval and they don't know about space travel and stuff, but then you see that through Binro. And that moment, that's like a fan favourite moment if you're talking about from this. Everyone loves that. It's like a really nice
loved that.
little monologue bit. Yeah, and it didn't have to be there, but that's just it just adds that extra bit to build this story. You get Graf and Decay back and forth. He gets very angry. Doctor gets locked up and Romana's getting a bit impatient. And then when it's sort of a bit of a chase in a way, aren't they? They're after this stone, and they all go down to the catacombs bit by bit. The guard are like, right, we know where they are. We'll get the Seeker. A bit like, because they used to do that in like the 80s. I don't know if they do it now. They probably don't. In like the 80s and 90s, they used to, in like murder trials, they used to get like psychics and stuff to try
that's very American.
Find out in real life. It's a very American thing. I bet they've done it over here as well. You hear that in some true crime stuff. I've heard that, they get in these psychics. It's that version of it where the Seeker comes in. I mean, she's great. She is amazing, I think. No?
I mean, yeah, I guess. It was such... I'll tell you what I found really bizarre about it, right? So everything she says is true,
Yeah.
right? But their whole mythology is false because they believe that like it's two gods against each other, and that's surely what she's part of and believes in. But actually, they just go around planets, and they know that because he's like, no, what you've said is true. We do go. There is a sun, and we go around this. Yeah, that is correct. It's not two gods fighting against each other for the seasons. So how is she always right in what they? That was,
Well, it's just coincidence, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit ambiguous, isn't it? Doesn't it? It just happens to fit.
Spot on it every time.
Yeah, but okay, in the like, if Mystic Meg was on the lottery and it's like somebody blonde will win £10 tonight, everyone's like, yeah, she's going to be right every time because it just happens to be. Do you know what I mean? She's the Mystic Meg of Ribos, isn't she?
She's like that last one. She was like, oh, he's gone, he's dead. He's in the like. There's no point because he's in the cocoon or whatever it is. I forgot what they're called, cactucoon.
Catacombs, yeah.
But before that, she was like, no, he's down there. Like every time she doesn't. She's not just saying he's alive. She's like she knows exactly where he is.
Well, we will never know the true secrets of the Seeker, but I think it just happens to be because she says all of us, all but one, will die, and then he shoots her. Proper blanket in the face at the end, and then when the Doctor swaps the bomb, it turns out the Doctor's the last one standing. Yeah, it adds something, but again, it adds to that world that they do have those beliefs. And yeah, okay, she's right. Hey, she's right.
She
That's
is.
fine.
But I think it should have just been on once, and then it was right. I'd have been like, okay. But it's the fact that she did like 2-3 appearances, and every time she's like bang on the money. And I'm like, either there is way more to this than they're right, and he's like, I don't know. I was like, it just sort of, it kind of almost for me, and I'm sure I'm alone in this, it kind of lessened that powerful speech that we'd had before about
science.
Yeah. And that's not
because they
that's not me trying to twist on like from a religious, because they're not. It's not a religious thing. They believe like, although I guess it is their religion, but like it was such a powerful like moment that was, and then but in their own society, this woman's just always right. So and that's what they believe. So I don't know. I just kind of found it very. Yeah, I just didn't like how specific as well she could be.
I can't believe how she kept them antlers on her head the whole time. And when she gets shot as well, you don't see her fall down. She sort of walks to the side and offset. She's not going to lie down with those antlers on.
She's not lady.
She just, yeah, she's not doing any actual collapsing acting.
When they were putting that makeup on her, she was thinking, "What the fuck?"
Oh, I bet she loved it. This is her moment.
Her nose has like an arrow pointing down.
Yeah, it was really interesting makeup. It was really good. But you still believed it in that world, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think
different levels. Because then Binro is like that really sort of peasanty, middle-agey.
He's obviously a scientist or a philosopher of some sort.
And he's a scientist. I know. Yeah.
I don't think he even realizes he's a scientist. I can't speak. I don't think he even realizes he's a scientist. I think he's probably like the astronomer or the philosopher of their people, and because he's watched the sky so much, has been able to chart this. And it's really interesting. And I just think like it's just such a shame. How, I don't know, for me, I just found that it not only slightly just diminished that sort, which is why like whenever she was back, I was like, oh, now what?
I liked how Binro came on the journey. It's a shame that he got killed.
Yeah. But I think he knew he was going to anyway.
Yeah. But he had that moment before he got killed as well. I really like that, how he was like, thank you for agreeing with me, and now I know. And that's... yeah. And I feel like this story, it's with so much up a level from the last season.
Oh, yeah,
maybe the last season before. Because actually... okay, you love some of those seasons. Okay, the Sunmakers and the Tax one and everything, they did have layers, but I feel like this has got even more layers to get out of it in terms of actual sort of drama and character and stuff. And it doesn't have silly moments, even though, okay, Graph in Decay is a bit over the top. He's believable. He's not silly like the Collector silly. He's... And even Garon is very over the top and dramatic, but it just feel like it's a whole world, and there's lots of layers with Binro as well, and the Seeker and all of that, and the adventure. Okay, the Shrivenzahl is a bit of a weaker moment, but you don't see it that much. I'm not going to hate on the Shrivenzahl. He's an alright monster. He's fine. He's not a prawn.
It's not a prawn, and it moves. I thought it worked quite well. It's a little bit slimy as well, bit of jelly on there, you know.
I feel like they just sort of like, oh, we need a monster in this just to add a little bit of an extra thing, but they don't make a big thing of it's the monster. You know, he's down in the catacombs. K9, we haven't talked about K9. K9 gets dog whistled in halfway through to help out. And I like that. And already he's got that relationship with Romana. When Romana puts her coat over the top and then she's like, oh, I'm sorry, K9. I really like that.
I like that.
Be quiet, K9. You're a very irritating computer. I'm sorry, K9. What can we do now?
I think they will work out what their relationship is now.
I think they're just always going to just do that dog whistle whenever they need him, and he's just going to come out and help out.
I loved it. I thought it was but also I really liked it as an idea. I thought like that's such a nice little addition to how we include K9.
It's a bit in terms of the wrap up of the story though, with the Graffinder K. And he swaps the bomb and it gets blown. That's a bit violent. And the doctor's, he pretends to be the guards and everything. And it's not a big explosive, apart from Graffinder K. It's not a big explosive finale. It's just gets all worked out. And then you've got a nice bit at the end with Garon. Like, Garon isn't really a baddie or a villain. He's just a bit, he's the local crook sort of thing. He's harmless. And they have that bit at the end where they say goodbye and everything. So overall, it's just a really good story and a really good season opener. It sets everything up because you've set up Romana, you set up the key to time, and you've got that story.
So the second episode, I was hula hooping at the time watching it, and
okay.
And I was really loving the conversation that they were having about him like selling Sydney and he wanted the opera. I don't know. There's a lot of really good dialogue in this, a lot of really good storytelling. Nothing really felt padding. It all felt like just adding character and layers rather than, I really liked it. I thought it was a really strong opening for the season. Is it like it going to be in my top list? Probably not. There's things that I probably won't remember, but I really appreciated the start of it. I really like the journey that I think we're going to go on with it.
He's a good writer as well, actually. We don't talk about this writer. He wrote the tax one.
Oh,
he wrote
and I love the tax one.
Yeah, he wrote... what else? He's written loads. He's actually written loads, and he was script editor for the past couple of seasons as well. So he's the one that writes all the decent...
Yeah, because it's really good. And like, I loved the tax one. I know I keep going on about it, and you weren't a huge fan, but... I thought it was a really good rounded story, and this felt the same.
I think you're going to like this season. I'm definitely I love this season. Lots of people love this season. Yeah, let's see what happens. And when they get the segment as well, it's a nice moment. It looks cool. I love the look.
It's not some like everything looks great. I think budgets help.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's the beginning of the season, so they've got their money. Hopefully they've worked out their money situation from last time. Well, I'll tell you the name of the next story. It's 4 episodes, and it's called The Pirate Planet.
Oh, okay.
And it's quite interesting. Well, it's written by Douglas Adams, the guy that wrote Hitchhikers.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
And yeah, Romana's great. And Mary Tam, who plays Romana, is amazing. She passed away about 10 years ago, actually, fairly young. I have to show you a picture that I got signed by her. Right. I've got it framed. So I'll just hold it up. So this is her, obviously a bit older. She's done a bit of a photo shoot. Yeah, she's done a photo shoot, right? But what they've done, that picture of K9 is CGI.
Right.
So they've obviously taken a picture of her bending over with her legs open and then put a CGI K9 in between her legs. I'll post it up for everyone to see. It's hilarious, but it's great. So I've got a few things signed by her. You
can tell it's her though. Like. Yeah.
And the last time I saw her was in Cardiff. She was signing her book in Borders in Cardiff.
Oh, really?
Is that Urban Outfitters now? Is that
No, you'll think that
Where
was Borders.
Borders were down one of those lanes in Cardiff, and it was. I think it turned into Urban Outfitters in that space.
I didn't think it was that because it's that
Or
so
along-
close to Waterstone.
Or one of those along there.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to look it up after
Yeah.
where Borders was.
Yeah, anyway, that's where I saw her last in there. So, and I will be talking about her book. She wrote her autobiography. She did two. It's amazing. It's great. I'm going to have to tell you about those and meeting her in future episodes.
It's going to be like Polly all over
great.
again when Mark reads excerpts.
No, not at all. Nothing's as bad as Polly.
Nothing.
Oh.
Nothing will ever be. One for the road, Mark. One for the road. I'm just going to open it up.
Okay, yeah. Question.
So many friends of the Doctor get to choose whether their first TARDIS trip is an adventure forward or backward in time. Which event does the Ninth Doctor take Rose Tyler to witness on her first trip into the future?
Oh, this is spoilers for you.
No, but I mean, I have watched some of this one.
Okay, well, it's the destruction of Earth.
Yeah, it's called The End of the Earth. The Ninth Doctor takes Rose to watch the sun expand and destroy the Earth.
Yeah, into the world, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. I'm going to ask you this one because it's about Dodo. This is the next question. So, the consequences of traveling to the distant future can be disastrous. What does Dodo Chaplet infect the human and monoid races with after she arrived on a Generation starship with the First Doctor and Stephen Taylor over 10 million years into their future? A, a cold, B, chickenpox, or C, coronavirus?
Oh my god, it doesn't say that, does it? Well, okay, not an STD. It is the cold.
Yeah. It does say coronavirus. You can tell this is a new book, can't you? I don't know when it came out. But yes, A.
Well, it could have been.
Dodo infects humans and monoids with a cold when she arrives on a Generation starship with the First Doctor and Stephen Taylor. There you go. I won't ask anymore. We'll finish on that note.
That's exciting. Yeah, okay.
I'll actually try and find some that are relevant rather than me just
Yeah.
flipping back and forth in a book.
Right. Okay. Well, you can all follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 2watchwho. And yeah, we will see you all next week.
Yeah. Bye.
To watch who?